Welcome to Rise and Grind Radio 3.0.
You are now about to witness
With your host, ScottyTheBody.
Come down later for good
7 of
news.
truth bombs, hard facts, and real life grit. It's time to wake up.
Good evening.
Let's grind.
Here we go again.
No, you gonna dig this.
Welcome back, Rise and Grind family. Today's episode is going to cut deep. My sound guy's a little off today, so we'll have to excuse him. I think he might have went out last night. Anyway, this is important because the headlines have been lying to you again. And no, I mean, I maybe have been called a conspiracy theorist in the past, but that's not relative to today. Anywho, I'm sure you've heard about the incident that happened in Charlotte, North Carolina. And if you haven't, well, let me tell you. So, I don't know. The young Ukrainian refugee, Iryna Zarutska, was brutally stabbed to death by a man with schizophrenia, who, ironically, had 14 arrests just this year alone. And it's only fucking August. Well, I mean, since it happened, right? So he could have had another one again, but... So it's 15 right now, or we're going on 16. I don't know. Whatever. Death isn't funny, but I treat it in a weird way because I'll start crying. Yeah. That sucks that this poor young lady, she was so small, frail, like she did nothing wrong. She didn't say anything to the guy. I don't even know if she made eye contact, by the footage that it's being blasted all over the internet there. But brutally stabbed to death. 14 arrests, and this dude's on the street. I mean, how the hell did that happen? Now, the headlines keep screaming about cashless bail. But let me tell you the truth. This isn't about bail reform. It's about a system that refuses to diagnose, treat, and contain the people that are extremely broken. And instead of protecting society, they just toss them back in like recycled trash until someone innocent pays the price. So grab your coffee, grab your discipline, rise and grind, baby. Let's do it. This one's going to hurt. Yeah, keep the round of applause going, baby. I don't know. Listen. August 22nd, 2025, just a few short weeks ago, Charlotte, North Carolina. Iryna Zarutska, just 23 years old, made it out of the Ukraine alive after everything that's going on with Russia. She lost her life on a light rail train. She survived a war, but couldn't survive America's broken system. Her killer? 34-year-old Decarlos Brown Jr. He wasn't some mystery danger. This was part of an experiment, dude. He wasn't a ghost. This man had 14 arrests in a single year. It's only August. You had 14, now you got 15. He was homeless. There's programs for people. The mission, you know what I mean? He was violent. Why was he back out on the streets if he's a repeat offender? And instead of being contained, he was released again. And days later, he butchered a young woman who wanted to ride the train home. Dude, what? If that happened in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Trump's trying to get the bums out of D.C. and then move that idea out to the surrounding giant cities, and Charlotte's a pretty big town too, man. So who's to say he's not going to bring it to other major cities? New York City, L.A., San Diego, whatever, Tampa. I don't know. I don't travel enough anymore, so I don't really care. But I'm just saying, This could be coming to your town too, dude. You know, the military be raiding your streets, rolling in your streets. You know, like I said a couple of episodes ago, they'll have National Guard at all the schools. I mean, yeah, it's cool, it's safe and everything, but Jesus Christ, do we need all the guns? How about we need just more control, right? More reform that works, not fucking defunding things that don't work. How about education to our police, education to our broken system, right? Because they don't know how to handle mental illness. This is still, they're like, you know what? Hey, he's okay. He's okay. He's okay. He just killed somebody. And that's the one we know of, right? This wasn't random. It wasn't certainly unpredictable. This was a ticking time bomb waiting to happen. This was systemic neglect on full display. And the question isn't, could he afford bail? The real question is, why the hell was he free at all? Repeat offender, like 14 times in 1 year, dude. I don't think I know anybody with that kind of record. You know, and if I do, like, you should question who I actually bring in my life. You know what I mean? Diagnose the man, treat the man, contain the man, protect the people, and the system did none of it. Because of that family, Iryna's family is now burying their daughter. Now, here's where it gets disgusting. Politicians on both sides are reaping the benefits from this. You know, they want to make this about bail reform. Conservatives scream, cashless bail is killing us. Liberals scream, cashless bail is progress. And the media, well, you know, they're just stirring the pot, whatever clip they can get the most views on. So let's cut through all the bullshit, right? This was never about bail. This was about risk assessment, responsibility. If someone's violent history is untreated mental illness, and has untreated mental illness, that makes them a walking time bomb, right? Then no bail, no ankle bracelet, no slap on the wrist is going to fix any of that. You don't put them back in Gen Pop, dude. You put them in care or containment, period. But nobody wants to say that because it's not politically sexy. So instead of accountability, we get distraction. Instead of safety, we get these bullshit sound bites. Like it's supposed to matter. And the people paying the price aren't the politicians. It's everyday people like you and me. You know, I work at a black barbershop, dude. I got black friends. They know better. We got a joke. There's a crazy house down the street. We see people all the time, dude. White, black, Puerto Rican. We don't fucking see color. You know? That's why we work together. Because we can. We don't let society tell us one way or another how to act. Right? I love my brothers. White, black, brown, don't fucking matter, man. As long as you're a good person, I'll be a good person to you. That's all it is. You know? And those are the same people that are paying for it too. It's not even about color. It's about your safety. The fucking barbershop door, like, dude, anybody can walk in there, you know, anytime, whatever. But we know better, so we're prepared too. You know what I mean? I'm kidding. But, you know, don't test us. Anyway, let's roll back a tape a couple years. New York City, May 2023. Daniel Penny, ex-Marine. Jordan Neely, a black man, homeless, mentally ill. Penny put Neely in a chokehold on the subway and Neely died. The case explodes. The media circus is instant. Penny's face is everywhere. He's plastered on CNN, MSNBC, the New York Times, like he's the villain. Like he's the vigilante. The white Marine who choked out a black man. I know. It's not even about color, dude. They put him on display because he did something. He stuck up for himself or somebody else, or whatever it was. But let me ask you this. Where's the same energy for the Charlotte incident? Where's the wall-to-wall outrage when a schizophrenic man with 14 arrests murders a white Ukrainian refugee on a train? Anyone? Hello? Yeah, that's what I thought. Nowhere, because it doesn't fit the narrative. See, Neely had psychiatric issues. Everyone knew it. The system ignored him. The same way they ignored Brown and Charlotte. And when Daniel Penny acted, suddenly it's not about mental health. It's about black and white. It's about race. It's about politics. It's about division. Where do you stand on the socioeconomic scale of whatever of shit that they're trying to put you on? Listen, dude, if you're a good person, I don't care how much money you make. I don't. Just be a good person, and I mean that on every single level. You know, it doesn't take much to be a good person. You just have to be mindful and cognizant that the main character syndrome is one of the biggest things that most of us fall victim to at least once or twice in our lives, right? As long as we can be mindful and pull ourselves out of that, well, then you can call yourself a good person. But a lot of us have our heads so far up our fucking asses these days that you can't even see the light of day. So why don't we put that into practice? Mindfulness, right? And stop falling victim to this fucking bullshit propaganda. Gay, straight, black, white, Jew, not Jew, fucking Muslim, not Muslim, Islamophobic, non-Islamophobic. Like, dude, why are these fucking words existing? Why does anyone hate each other? Because they call God something else? I'll tell you what, there is only one God. That's it. It doesn't fucking matter. God is everywhere. You can call it Allah, you can call it the divine, you can call it the Father, you can call it whatever, but it's the same fucking thing. Right? And he created all of us. He created the crazy people, he created the sane people, he created the tall people, the short people, and everyone in between. So why the hell do we let the media try to spin this like we have no control of it? Because this is something that they want. And you should see who's running the media outlets. If you see who runs, most of the media outlets, it's usually Fox, Comcast. There's a few of them. I'm pretty sure those are the only ones, or there's a couple of them. But they're all usually run by one big entity. I'm pretty sure it's BlackRock, which is obviously, if you guys been paying attention, run by Peter Thiel, who is now best friends with all the most important people in the world. So maybe you should start paying attention to the shit that fucking matters instead of this low-level 2D nonsense. Because if you're a two-dimensional thought process person, or I don't even know how to say this properly, if you're on a level of two-dimensional thought where you think race is the biggest problem in the fucking world right now, or racism is the biggest problem in the world, I got something for you. You got another one coming, bro, or sis, or whatever. Dead serious. This is the game, folks. The media doesn't report to real events. They curate narratives. If the attacker is white and the victim's black, it's front page news. The attacker's black and the victim's white, well, yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe a passing headline, maybe a local mention, and then poof, it's gone. You want proof? Let me give you the receipts. Headline 1. Daniel Penny acquitted in New York City subway chokehold case over Jordan Neely's death. That's PBS NewsHour. Mainstream. Top shelf. Penny's acquittal was national news on day one. Everywhere. Now, Compare that with Charlotte. The Reuters headline, North Carolina man faces federal charge in fatal stabbing of Ukrainian refugee. Just another crime brief. A tragedy buried in the ticker. A man acquitted gets front page energy, but a refugee who gets slaughtered on a train gets the side column. Wow. Upmonic. Here's another one. People magazine said Daniel Penny does not regret the role in Jordan Neely's death on the New York subway. That's his words, amplified. Carved into the national conversation. But when Iryna's family spoke, New York Post carried, Iryna Zarutska's family speaks out after Ukrainian refugee was slaughtered on train. No family should have to go through this. That headline never made it to your nightly news. It didn't trend Twitter. It didn't break your phone with push alerts. So let that sink in. Penny's perspective gets megaphoned. And Iryna's grieving family whispered into the void. You know why? Because they don't want you to notice the system's failure. They want you stuck fighting each other, white versus black, left versus right, while the real problem festers right underneath our noses. And you're letting it happen. The real problem is untreated illness, systemic neglect, and institutions that profit off of both. And don't forget, the same people running these media corporations are tied up with the same money machines that collect your taxes and bankroll this broken system. You're not supposed to see the pattern. That's why I'm here. You're just supposed to see the skin color. So let's strip away this spin and wrap it up because I got things to do today. This isn't about bail. It's not about race. Certainly not about politics. This is about a system that refuses to deal with mental illness until it explodes in our faces. It's about courts and jails that act like revolving doors because it's easier than tough calls. Which, ironically, I've just said that in the last episode. And it's also about media outlets making billions off of this chaos. It's the bad chaos. We don't embrace this chaos. So, in closing, Rise and Grind family, here's the truth bomb. If you think bail reform is the root cause, you're still drinking the Kool-Aid, right? The root is untreated illness. The root is systemic neglect. The root is a system that has no accountability until it's far too late, until people are way too gone and dead. Don't let the headlines play you. Don't let the media manipulate you. It's not entertainment. It is mind control. Diagnose the problem, demand accountability, protect your people. This has been Rise and Grind Radio 3.0. I'm ScottyTheBody, and I'll say it again. Stay disciplined, stay awake, and stay dangerous, baby.